Okay, I'm gonna have to do this video really quick because the battery on this phone is dying, but I just wanted to show you guys something. Oh, and I'm actually in my bathroom, which it turns out the lighting is so much better in here, so I might end up doing all my videos in here from now on. So I'll be shooting from inside the can. But no, hold on. I wanted to show you guys something. Okay. What do you guys think this is? What is this? This is a pee bucket. That's exactly what that is. I have to do a 24-hour urine test, which is exactly what it sounds, where you start keeping track of your pee from like after your first pee first thing in the morning and for 24 hours straight. Why am I doing that? Because no, I'm not some crazy insane stupid pee collector. I'm doing it because I'm seriously considering doing living organ donation, which is where you donate your kidney, typically your left kidney, because apparently the vein on that side is bigger, so it's safer to do. And I wanted to try and keep track and document the steps to actually do that and sort of demystify it a little bit, because I had a really hard time finding information about what you do. Ultimately, step one was contacting my local transplant hospital, which was up in London, so London, Ontario. I searched and I googled and I couldn't find any information, and it finally came down to just talking to somebody who had worked in London when I was donating blood at some point at a blood donation clinic in my hometown. So if you actually think about the idea and you're thinking about doing it not for a family member, then your best bet might actually be to start with your local hospital. Like, my doctor was no help because he was American, so his exact words were, "I have no idea how you do something like that in this country." So, I don't know, like I said, I gotta rush this because I've only got a couple minutes, but I haven't really told anyone that I've been thinking about it, since I might ultimately panic and back out and not do anything, and I didn't want to have to explain myself to everybody or explain that I had a sudden attack of chicken. But like I said, I really wanted to try and demystify the process, because I got the idea when I was really, really young, when I first found out as a kid that you can donate a kidney and live a perfectly happy, healthy life. And so I got the idea and I thought, okay, well, as soon as I turn 18, that's what I'm going to do. Then I forgot. Then I heard about it on the radio. Somebody did it for a family member, and that got other family members talking about whether or not they were going to do it, and it planted the idea in my head. And I searched for 2 years trying to find a hospital or a registry or something. And I found the bone marrow registry, which is run by the same people as the blood donation. So if you want to find out information about that, you dial 1-800-2-DONATE. They have all the information there. If you want to donate bone marrow, they'll actually only accept it up to the age of 35. They'll send you a kit, and it's got 4 little swabs in it, and you swab the insides of your cheeks, up, down, up, down. That's it. That's all you do. You send it back. They put you in the database. The odds of you actually being called are slim to nil, because for things like stem cells, they prefer to take from a family member. But you're in the database if they end up meeting you. Nobody talks to you. Nobody calls you. Nothing. For kidney donation, the process is a little bit more complicated. And first, I called and I spoke to somebody, and they said they would mail me some information. They mailed me some info. They mailed me a questionnaire that was a lot of pages, like 5 or 10 pages. A lot of it was the same basic stuff that you do when you donate blood. So if you've ever donated blood, you're familiar with the most hassling part of the whole thing is the paperwork, which is hilarious. Someone's going to jam a giant needle into you, and the worst part is you got to fill out a lot of paperwork to do it. But anyways, okay, yep, it's saying battery low, 15% remaining. Okay, that might still give me a few minutes, because this is pretty good about time. But no, so it was a bunch of questions to the questionnaire that they gave me for a living kidney donation about, you know, what's your medical history like, what surgeries have you gotten, all things that you would have expected. They wanted to know a lot about your family history, which for me was the hardest part, because I'm perfectly healthy, but again, my mother has a lot of health problems, my grandmother has a lot of health problems, my aunt had a stint with breast cancer, my grandfather recently died from breast cancer, lymphoma actually, he died from cancer, so when I actually took a look at my family history, it started to get a little bit scary. And then after I filled out the questionnaire, had a phone interview. It took about 15 minutes to half an hour. It was asking you what your reasons were, why you wanted to donate, what your mental health was like. That's a huge thing. They're very interested to know about your mental health and whether you're stable, whether you are on any antidepressants, and whether or not this is something that you're going to regret doing or be incredibly afraid about. The biggest thing for me with that interview was because I'm not donating to a family member, I'm just donating just because, or I may just donate just because. They wanted to be very clear that if I wanted to stop this process at any time, I can do that, no problem. And they wanted to make sure I have that in it, and I have no reason to be ashamed. And after that phone interview, they take you to they take that assessment of you to a council meeting that they have at the beginning of every month, and they discuss whether or not they found you to be a competent applicant. Sorry, they did that. I was found to be competent. They sent me a bunch of paperwork requisitions to get urine and blood tests done. So that is what I'm doing right now, today, which I actually have to sign my name on that thing, and I didn't do that, so I'm going to have to get a pen. 10 seconds ago, I went to fill it up with pee, and I almost dropped it. So that was freaking, the shriek that I spit out was, oh my freaking god, there would have been pee all over the goddamn floor, and I would have had to mop it up, and this whole test would have been for nothing. I may end up not submitting this urine for tests, because they tell you that you should get health insurance and life insurance before the tests begin. Because if something's found to be wrong with you, good freaking luck getting insurance after a problem has been found. I am very young, I'm very healthy. Initially I went, oh, yeah, no, I don't have to worry about that, they're not going to find anything. Now I'm starting to reconsider, for somebody my age, and I'm a non-smoker, health insurance, and what I would need, I think, is a critical health insurance, critical illness. It would only cost me about $20 a month anyway, so I might just tell them to forego the test until my life insurance comes through, which I'm pretty sure they totally will. So this is where I'm at right now. I'm in the process of doing some urine tests, and then when I submit the urine, next comes a bunch of blood tests, and I will start posting videos when I actually have to go into the London Transplant Center, and we'll see where I go from there. I haven't had a crippling enough terror that I think I'm gonna back out, but I do have certain apprehensions that I might discuss in future videos, because I really want to try and demystify this process. I'm not sure whether I should even be talking about it anyway, because in general, I'd like to keep it quiet. How strange does that sound? I'm sitting here talking about it, and I'm going to post this video to the public, but I want to keep it quiet, like talk about an oxymoron. I'm not trying to humble brag or whatever the word is now. I think if people knew more about it and were less afraid of it, I mean, the risk of death is so extremely minimal when you undergo a procedure like this, and you can live a very happy, healthy life with a single kidney, and it doesn't shorten your life expectancy. I think the biggest concern for someone my age is because there's the possibility that I might become pregnant. With one kidney, I could have an increased risk of high blood pressure and preeclampsia. So it was something that they would have to be aware of. I'm not very concerned about that, because I've always been a bigger fan of adoption anyway, but that's just me personally. I know my friends that I talk to, they say, well, what if you get down to one kidney and then the one kidney you have fails, and then then you're totally screwed. Well, then hopefully, I'll be at the mercy of people as kind as, I don't know, not as kind as I am necessarily, but someone good enough. If my one kidney ends up failing me in the future, then hopefully somebody else would be brave enough to give me theirs. I don't know. Who knows? I honestly don't think that that's going to be a problem. They wouldn't do a procedure that would only create patients with more kidney problems. They wouldn't treat a kidney patient with a method that was going to cause more kidney patients, you know. But anyways, this has been Lex Falafel Girl, and you've seen my pee bucket. Have a good night. Love everybody.